gosh, I've forgotten my microphone. Let me just get that. Sorry about that. Please. So I'm just wondering if you can hear me. So let me know if you can hear me or not in the chat. That would be great. Great, awesome. I'm just gonna scooch back a little bit. Okay, so welcome to the Glasgow Buddhist Center live stream. My name is Sadni, and we'll be looking at the metta bhavana today. Yeah. So the cultivation of loving kindness. So we're just going to start off with, I'm just going to say a little bit about what we're going to do in the live stream, and then we'll do a body scan, kind of arriving meditation, and then I will talk a little bit more about the metta practice after we kind of have a little bit of an arriving, kind of settling. Great. Jeanette's here as well. Jeanette Darty, nice to see you both. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to it. So just to say a few things about posture. You don't have to sit on the floor like I am. You can choose to sit in a chair or lie on the floor, whatever is comfortable for you. So the principles that you just want to be aware of when you're finding a posture is that you feel comfortable. That's the most important thing. That you're comfortable, that your body has a sense of in it, yeah, a sense of being able to be relaxed and open. And there's a sense of also alignment or uprightness, yeah. On the floor, connected in with the earth. Your pelvis feels like it's in a comfortable position to allow the spine to rise up out of the pelvis. And then just also noticing how the head sort of rests on top of the pelvis. So just feeling that sense of alignment of the legs, the feet on the floor, into the pelvis, the spine, the ribs, and the shoulders and the arms, everything sort of just feeling into all of that, feeling like you're really inhabiting your body, yeah. And then once you have that sense of feeling that, just allowing it to kind of find its own posture, that alignment to sort of find itself, as it were, yeah. So like trusting the body's own integrity and its own inner alignment. Okay, so get comfortable, find your posture, whatever posture that you're going to use for the practice. And then, yeah, in terms of your hands, just if you're sitting in a chair or lying, just maybe if you're lying down, you can just put your hands on your belly or on your kind of lower belly, your abdomen. If you're sitting in a chair, you just rest your hands on your thighs, feeling that contact of the hand that feels comfortable and is relaxed. So for the meditations, I'm going to be using a bell. So I'll just ring that. And hear the bell. And that's just an opportunity to be reminded to come back to yourself from wherever you've maybe wandered off to in your mind. And we'll start with just, like I said, a short kind of arriving in the body meditation. So finding your posture, feeling the feet on the floor, the feet connected with the earth beneath you. And then feeling the breath in the body. Just allowing that tuning into the body to find its own rhythm as it comes and goes. And see if you notice that as you tune into the breath in the body, see if that just allows your being, however you experience that right now, whether it's in thoughts or in the body. See if you can just notice that the being can just find a little bit more calm, can come down just a notch, maybe, whatever that means to you right now, whatever that feels like for you, whatever your notch is like this evening. And then allowing your awareness to come down into the feet again. And as we move through, so I'm gonna just encourage you to just sort of tune in to different parts of the body. And as you do that, just see what it's like to just inhabit that part of the body, to really be that part of the body. Notice the difference between sort of being aware of the feet, for instance, and actually being the feet, inhabiting. And then noticing the ankles, coming up into the calves and the shins. And coming up into the knees. See if you can just notice both knees at the same time. Trying to find that sense of balance in the body. Coming into the thighs, the backs and the fronts and the sides of the thighs. Inhabiting the thighs. And then into the pelvis, the hip sockets. Into the pelvis. Just that sort of bowl-like, bony structure at the bottom of the spine. Connection between the legs and the torso. And feeling the belly and the low back. What's it like to really inhabit your body right now? As if you're zipping on this body. Wearing the body, being in the body. And then coming up into the midsection of the body, solar plexus, your belly of the body. And coming up into the chest. And the upper back. all the different sides, really feeling into that. Noticing how that feels to be in this part of the body. And then noticing the shoulders and the shoulder joints, the sockets of the shoulders. Feeling into them at the same time. And then feeling into the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists and the hands. Waking up to the body that you're in. And then coming up to the neck, the cylinder of the neck, the throat. The front and the back and the sides of the throat. And this point where the spine comes up into the head. And feeling into the face and the head. Even the lips and the tips of the nose. Allowing the eyes to be soft, even if they're closed. And feeling the tops and the sides, front and the back of the head. Being in the head. Inhabiting the whole of the body all at once. Just taking a minute to just feel into that sense of being in the body, as if you were sitting in a sacred space. In this sacred space. And feeling the breath as it flows through that space of the body. And then when you're ready, just opening your eyes, coming into the space of the room that you're in. Any sense of being in the body, inhabiting that space of the body. Okay, so I'm going to say a few things about the practice that we're going to do this evening, the next practice that we're going to do this evening. So this evening we're going to be practicing the metta bhavana, which is the cultivation, which is generally translated as the cultivation of loving kindness. So it's also translated as friendliness. Or another translation that I really like is solid. So that sense of really being with being with ourselves, being with each other, and being with and for life itself. Yeah. So that is metta. And you can think about metta in all the different ways that so it doesn't have to be some like big sense of expansiveness or overwhelming love for all beings, yeah? I mean, it can be that, but it doesn't have to be that, yeah? So you can think about metta and loving kindness in all of those simple ways that we just take care of ourselves, yeah? We take care of each other. So every morning when you wake up, maybe you brush your teeth and you make yourself breakfast, or maybe you make breakfast for your family or your partner or your roommate or the people that you live with. And it's all these very simple acts of kindness experience without that sense of metta, that sense of loving kindness, that sense of just really wishing another being or even our own being well. Yeah. So it's like love is in the act. Yeah. So that's, in a sense, what we're cultivating. That's what we're connecting with in this practice. Is that sense of well-wishing that's in all of these acts of kindness that we engage in every day. When we get to a street that's really busy, we stop and we look at all directions to make sure that we don't come to any harm. Yeah. Or we do that for a child that's with us. So that is metta. So it really is quite sort of ordinary in a sense. So I just say that because sometimes people feel like they can't quite feel this overwhelming sense of love or connectedness. They think that's what metta, that the practice is supposed to be allowing them to connect with. And like I said, that might happen, but that isn't necessarily going to always happen, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not, that the practice isn't working, as it were, or that you're not doing the practice correctly. So can you just connect with that simple sense of wanting or wishing yourself or others well? Yeah. And that is metta. And then in a sense, just trusting that that's enough, that that's enough in the practice, and trusting that what will happen next will happen on the basis of setting that intention, that sense of well-wishing. So that's what we're doing in the practice. Yeah. And then we just notice what that feels like. So it's really important in the practice that we're doing the practice, but it doesn't become sort of like a kind of rote thing that we just do. We sit here and we wish ourselves well, and we wish other beings well. That actually we're noticing the effect that has in our hearts, in our minds, in our being. Yeah. So bringing in that sense of noticing and awareness that we have been working on becoming more used to in the mindfulness practice, the mindfulness breathing practice. So in the practice itself, so the metta bhavana practice is 5 stages. I'm just going to say what they are very briefly, and then I'll just lead you in the practice. So in the first stage, we are bringing ourselves to mind. We're tuning into that sense of who we are in this moment, how we are. And then just tuning into that sense of well-wishing, that sense of kindness, loving kindness for ourselves. And sometimes people like to use phrases to help them sort of, in a sense, kind of a bit like with the counting, to stay in touch with the practice and stay in touch with the focus of the practice. So you can use these phrases. Some of the traditional phrases are "May you be well," "May you be happy," "May you be free of suffering." So you can say, "May I be well," "May I be happy." And then in the second stage, we bring to mind a friend, someone that we know well, someone that, in a sense, it's easy to wish well, to be kind towards. So bringing them to mind and then just allowing that sense of well-wishing there, that intention to wish them well. And then in the third stage, we bring to mind someone that we don't know that well, someone we feel maybe neither friendly towards or any sense of animosity towards, just someone we feel kind of neutral about. So bringing them to mind. And again, just wishing them well. And then in the fourth stage, we bring to mind someone that maybe we feel animosity towards, some kind of animosity, someone that maybe irritates us or we feel irritated by. It's not assuming that they are in themselves irritating, but that we experience irritation at whatever they get up to in the world. And then in the last stage, we bring to mind all of the people that practice and we wish them well equally. So this is sometimes called the equalizing and radiating stage. So we bring them to mind and we wish them well, all well equally. And then we just tune into that sense of radiating that goodwill, that loving kindness out. And we can imagine doing that in stages, so bringing maybe to mind people that are in our immediate vicinity, and imagine, even just with our minds, that we could radiate loving kindness to all beings. Be well. Okay, so that's the practice. So we're going to do that for the next 25 minutes. So again, make sure that you're comfortable. Find a posture that feels good to you for the next 25 minutes. And I'll lead you through the practice. So just allowing the sound of the bell to just fade in its own time. And tuning back in if we've tuned out of that sense of being in the body. Tuning back into that sense of being in the body. And just being honest about how you feel right now. What do you notice in your experience? What does it feel like to be in this body? What's the quality of our mind right now? What's the quality of our heart? Just be honest. There's no wrong or right answer. There's just how you are right now. Really taking yourself in. So when you have a sense of yourself, and a sense of how you are right now, of this body being here, and then see if you can just tune into that sense of well-wishing for yourself, that sense of wanting yourself to be happy, to be well, to be liberated and free from suffering. And then when your mind wanders, because it will wander, you'll get distracted by stories and ideas, feelings. When that happens, just when you catch that, that's great. Just catching that the mind has wandered, tuning back into the body, and then coming back to that sense of well-wishing. Just picking it up where you left off. Or in a sense, just picking it up fresh. Coming back freshly, kindly to this moment and this sense of well-wishing. Of really wanting what's best, what's wholesome, what's ultimately fulfilling for ourselves. And then just noticing how that feels. What's it like to wish yourself well? And again, just being honest. The metta practice is a very honest practice. It requires you to be authentic and real. So how does it feel to wish yourself well? And again, there's no right or wrong answer here. There's just how you are. There's just how it is. So again, see if you can stay in touch with that internal sense of being in the body during it, so that you're engaging from that space of the body. And then turning your attention to a good friend. So bringing to mind someone who you consider a good friend. And just picking one and staying with them for the whole of this practice today. For the whole of this stage of the practice. So who comes to mind? This good friend of yours. Bringing them to mind and then wishing them well, like you wished yourself well. they also be free. And again, just noticing how that feels. So may your good friend be with you. May they have what they need to grow and be nourished in their lives. What's that like for you? Wish them well. Moving into the next stage of the practice. Again, taking a minute just to tune into that sense of the body, being in the body, staying connected with your physical experience. And then bringing to mind someone that you don't know that well, or someone that you just feel neutral towards. So bringing them to mind and wishing them well, really wanting for them to have what their hearts desire is, their heart's wish. When your mind wanders off, it's okay. Just bringing it back to the body, bringing it back to this neutral person and this sense of well-wishing, this sense of metta, of kindness, of really wanting what's best for this person. And just noticing how that feels. May you be well and happy. May you be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. deeply nourishes you, and all the supports that you need to grow. Just simply focusing on wishing this neutral person, wishing them well. And seeing if you can feel that sense of freedom. Just wish them well, without any strings, without any desire to back. This person too. These people that love them and care for them. They may be well and happy and free of suffering. So from that internal space of the body, moving now into the fourth stage, and bringing to mind someone that you have difficulty with. Someone who maybe you find irritating, or just feel a bit you have difficulty with them in some way. You don't even really need to know them that well. There's just always going to be people that there's friction with. Bringing one person to mind, this difficult person, wishing them well, really going against this tendency to push people that we find difficult away. Instead, we're moving towards them with a sense of openness, with a sense of care and kindness, and interest in their well-being. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering that's causing. May they know love and peace. In this stage, since it's kind of difficult to stay with this person, because maybe there's stories about them and why you find them difficult. They pop up very easily. So just noticing that. Noticing what it's like to imagine this person and imagine wishing them well, wanting them to know kindness and care and to be nourished and fulfilled and find the conditions that they need to grow and transform. Be happy. And I'm just noticing how that feels to wish this person well. What's it like? Does it feel difficult or maybe easy to imagine them being cared for and wishing that for them? Maybe well and happy. So mind all of the people that you've used in your practice. Yourself, your friend, someone you feel neutral about, and someone you have difficulty with, all at the same time, as if they were just sitting in front of you. And can you wish them well equally at the same time? May we all have what we need to be happy. Can you allow your heart to open to that? To be touched by that sense of metta. And allowing it to grow in its own time and to radiate out maybe to the people that you share your home with, or the beings that you share your home with, radiating out in ever widening circles so that all beings everywhere will be included in the sense of wishing and your desire for wellness for yourself and all beings in all directions, in all lines, regardless of any prejudice or bias. Of any kind of perceived difference. We all know that we all find true and lasting liberation from suffering. Can you just wish that for yourself and others? For all beings. Okay. In the last minute of the practice, just letting go of any sense of doing anything. So letting go of any sense of well-wishing that you're doing, being aware of what you're doing. Just being, just sitting here, being human, being alive. Just noticing how that feels. I'm just bringing the meditation to a close. See if you can still maintain that sense of connection with that internal space in the body as you open your eyes. And just noticing how you feel right now. Noticing there's a sense of difference in how you were when you started the meditation. Is it like here, right now, for you? Okay. So we've got a few minutes, and I'm going to just struggle just slightly closer to the screen. But if you had any questions or wanted to let me know how that meditation went, feel free to write in the chat. I see there's a couple people online at the moment. And it might just be Kudarni and Jeanette. And if that's the case, just let me know that. Say hello. 10 minutes to work its way through. I think we've been having some connection issues this evening, so I was noticing there's a bit jittery. So I just wonder if there's a lot of people online. Okay, so Kulidarni's saying it's her, but not Jeanette. I think Jeanette is Jintable, though. If she's no longer on. Yeah, buffering, yeah. Shame. I'm not really sure why. I've got all the bars on my Wi-Fi, but there you go. Things are like that. Okay, well, I might just end this evening then, just by saying a little bit about the Glasgow Buddhist Centre and how we run. So all of our classes and courses in meditation and Buddhism are offered free of charge, so we don't ask people to pay anything in particular to take our courses. So this is offered freely. And how we run things at the Buddhist Center is what we call the dana economy. So that's dana is a word that means generosity. So we rely on the generosity of the people who use the center, come to the center, take our classes. So if you're able to make any kind of a donation to cover the costs of running the center and being able to offer these teachings to whoever needs them freely, then we would greatly accept your donations. Kuladharni's put up the link for our donate page on our website. So feel free to go there and make a donation of any amount to help us cover the costs of running the center. And also check out what we've got available in terms of meditation classes, Buddhism classes, that sort of thing. Obviously, we're still closed to the public, the center, but we do offer things that in anything, any check us out at glasgowbuddhistcenter.com. So thanks for joining me this evening and meditating together, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening and that you sleep soundly, and take care.